Montreal-based Norris Kaplan is a wisecracking black French-Canadian teenager. He knows he's in for a major culture shock when his family moves to Austin, Texas. Goodbye French, hockey sweaters, and snow, and hello to the relentless heat, the orange of the University of Texas Longhorns, and Cowboys. To cope with his life being turned upside down, he uses his sarcastic humor to build a wall between himself and everyone else. He's hoping to be able to reunite with his estranged father back in Canada. Norris keeps track, i.e., creates a field guide, basically a burn book, of his fellow high schoolers by placing them in categories: cheerleaders, jocks, loners, and the manic pixie dream girl. I'm sure many of us can relate to these cliques. When people from the categories try and befriend Norris, he learns a lesson about his snarky attitude. Nor does he expect to fall head over heels for one of these Texans. This book is the first to be written by Philippe. It won the William C. Morris Award, which is given for a debut book written by a first-time author writing for teens. Ben holds a BA from Columbia University and an MFA in fiction and screenwriting from the University of Texas. He currently teaches at Barnard College in Manhattan. He was named by the CBC as a Canadian writer to watch last year. Ben and Norris have many things in common. His family moved to Quebec from Haiti when he was 5, first settling in Sherbrooke and then later in Montreal. They are both black French Canadians. They both moved to Texas and hated it. Ben admits that Norris is a superpowered version of himself. Norris says and does whatever he thinks, which is something that Ben never did. Ben was too worried about what everyone was thinking of him at school. For Ben, his teenage anxiety often stemmed from the question, do you hang out with your own kind or do you follow your own interests? He says that in high school, the black Canadian kids who were influenced by what American hip-hop culture told them blackness was, didn't like him and he didn't like them. He was the super geek kid who hung out with the Middle Eastern and Korean kids who shared his interests and wanted to talk about Pokemon or the Final Fantasy video games. This is a great coming-of-age story with themes of friendship and identity that many readers will be able to relate to. Some would call it a classic fish-out-of-water story, but there is more to it than that. There are many different elements at play in this book, like Norris's Haitian immigrant heritage, racial identity, and his views on American high school stereotypes. The storyline is driven by the characters who come across as authentic, realistic, and of course sarcastic. They are teenagers after all. They are also culturally diverse, engaging, and witty. As the Toronto Star said, by keeping the focus on Norris, a rounded but flawed teenager who is more concerned with being a hormonal teenager than the socio-political ramifications about being black, the author is able to incorporate a significant social awareness around issues of race and racism without feeling forced. The Field Guide to the North American Teenager is available to you through Cloud Library. I hope you enjoy it.